Please don't do this. The words barely left her lips before his hand gripped her chin, forcing her to meet his eyes, dark, merciless, burning with something that looked like hunger and rage all at once. Don't. Min-jun Park's voice was velvet wrapped around steel. You gave yourself to me 5 years ago. Did you think I'd let you go? Did you think you could just forget? Tears streamed down Aria Mitchell's face as she stared at the marriage contract on the table, the pen in her trembling hand. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know. And now you do. His breath was hot against her ear as he leaned in, his presence suffocating. Sign it. Become mine. Or watch everyone you love disappear, one by one. If you're new here, welcome to Under the Soul Sky. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications because this story is about to take you on the darkest, most twisted ride of your life. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I want to see my viewers around the world. Now, let me take you back to where this nightmare began. The club's bass thundered through Aria's chest like a warning she was too young to understand. She was 18, barely, and completely out of her depth. Her friends had dragged her to Manhattan's most notorious underground club, the kind of place where the lights were too dim and the men too dangerous. Come on, Aria. It's your birthday. Live a little. Her friend Jessica shouted over the music, already drunk and grinding against some stranger. Aria clutched her vodka cranberry like a lifeline, her eyes scanning the crowd nervously. This wasn't her scene. She should have been home, celebrating with her parents, opening presents, eating cake like a normal 18-year-old. Instead, she was here, and she was about to meet the devil himself. She didn't see him at first, but she felt him, that prickling awareness that someone was watching. When she finally looked up, her breath caught in her throat. He sat in the VIP section, separated from the chaos by velvet ropes and men who looked like they killed for a living. He was devastatingly beautiful in the way dangerous things are, sharp jawline, dark eyes that seemed to see through her soul, an expression that promised violence and sin in equal measure. Min-jun Park, though she didn't know his name yet, didn't know he was the youngest heir to the Park crime family, one of the most powerful Korean-American syndicates on the East Coast. Didn't know that his hands were stained with blood and his heart was carved from ice. All she knew was that when their eyes locked across the smoky room, something inside her recognized him, like a lamb sensing the wolf. He raised one finger, a subtle gesture, but the guards at the VIP rope immediately stepped aside, creating a path. For her. Oh my God, he wants you to come over, Jessica hissed, her eyes wide. That's Min-jun Park. Do you know who he is? Should I? Aria's voice was barely a whisper. He's dangerous. Like seriously dangerous. Rich. Powerful. My brother says he runs half the city's underworld. Jessica grabbed her arm. Don't go over there. Guys like that, they eat girls like you for breakfast. But Aria's feet were already moving. Not because she was brave, but because his eyes held hers like chains, and she couldn't look away. She reached the VIP section. Up close, he was even more terrifying and more beautiful. He sat sprawled in his chair like a king on a throne, a glass of whiskey in one hand, his other hand resting casually on the leather armrest. His men surrounded him, cold-eyed and watching. Sit, he commanded. Not asked. Commanded. Aria's legs folded beneath her before she could think. She perched on the edge of the seat across from him, her heart hammering so loud she was sure he could hear it. What's your name? His voice was smooth, accented, dangerous. Aria. Aria Mitchell. American name. But you're Korean, aren't you? I can see it in your face. She nodded. My parents are Korean, but I was born here. How old are you, Aria Mitchell? The way he said her name made her shiver. 18. Today. It's my birthday. Something flickered in his dark eyes. 18 today. So you were 17 yesterday. Yes. He leaned forward, and suddenly he was too close. She could smell his cologne, expensive, masculine, intoxicating. Do you know where you are right now? A club. His lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. You're in my club. Everything you see, the lights, the liquor, the bodies on that dance floor, belongs to me. The guards at the door? Mine. The bartenders serving your friends? Mine. Even the air you're breathing right now, mine. Aria's mouth went dry. I didn't know. You should leave, he interrupted, his voice dropping lower. Go back to your friends. Go home. Forget you ever saw me. Why? The words slipped out before she could stop it. Because I'm not a good man, Aria Mitchell. And you're too innocent for the things I'm thinking right now. Her cheeks burned. She should have been terrified, should have run. But instead, she heard herself say, "What if I don't want to leave?" His eyes went dark. Predatory. "You don't know what you're saying." "Maybe not. But it's my birthday. And I'm tired of being safe." That was the moment everything changed. Min-jun studied her for a long moment, and then he stood, towering over her. "Come with me." "Where?" "Somewhere private. Unless you've changed your mind." She should have said no. Should have listened to the warning bells screaming in her head. But she stood and followed him like a moth drawn to flame, knowing she was about to get burned. They left through a back exit, his hand on the small of her back, possessive, burning through the thin fabric of her dress. A black car was waiting, sleek and expensive. His men opened the door without a word. "Get in," Min-jun said. Aria hesitated for just a second. Then she climbed inside. The drive was silent. The city lights blurred past the tinted windows. Aria's hands twisted in her lap, her mind racing. What was she doing? She didn't know this man. He was dangerous. Jessica had said so. Everyone in that club had looked at him like he was death incarnate. But when she glanced at him, saw his jaw clenched and his hands gripping the steering wheel like he was fighting himself, she realized something. He was holding back, restraining himself. For her. They arrived at a penthouse in Midtown, the kind of place that screamed wealth and power. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the glittering Manhattan skyline. Everything was black marble and sharp edges, beautiful and cold. "Drink?" Min-jun asked, moving to the bar. Okay." He poured 2 glasses of whiskey and handed her one. Their fingers brushed. Electricity sparked. "You should be afraid of me," he said quietly. "I know, but you're not." "I am," Aria admitted. "But I'm here anyway." He took a long drink, his eyes never leaving her face. "Why?" "I don't know," she whispered. It was the truth. Min-jun set his glass down with deliberate control. Then he crossed to her, moving like a predator. He cupped her face with both hands, and she gasped at the roughness of his touch, the heat of his skin. "I'm going to tell you something," he said, his voice low and rough. "And you're going to listen carefully. I am not a good man. I hurt people. I destroy lives. I've killed men with these hands." He held them up, and she saw the scars across his knuckles. "If you stay here tonight, you're mine. Do you understand? Not for one night. Forever. Because I don't let go of what's mine." Aria's breath came in short gasps. "You don't even know me." "I know enough." His thumb traced her lower lip. "I know you're innocent. I know you're too good for me. And I know that I'm going to take you anyway because I'm a selfish bastard who stopped caring about heaven a long time ago." "Then take me," she whispered. His control shattered. The kiss was brutal, claiming, nothing gentle about it. He backed her against the window, his body pinning hers, his hands everywhere, in her hair, on her waist, sliding up her thigh. She gasped into his mouth, overwhelmed, drowning. "Tell me to stop," he growled against her lips. "Tell me you don't want this." "I want this," she breathed. "I want you." He pulled back suddenly, his chest heaving. His eyes raked over her, dark and dangerous. "Have you done this before?" Aria's cheeks flamed. She shook her head. Min-jun went completely still. "You're a virgin." "Yes." "Fuck." He turned away, running his hands through his hair. "You should have told me." "Would it have mattered?" He laughed, but there was no humor in it. It should matter. But it doesn't. That's how fucked up I am, Aria. You tell me you're untouched, and all I can think about is being the one to ruin you." "Then ruin me," she said, bolder than she felt. He turned back to her, something wild in his eyes. "You don't know what you're asking for. I know I don't want to leave. I know I don't want to forget tonight. I know," her voice broke. "I know I feel something when I look at you. Something I've never felt before." Min-jun closed the distance between them in 2 strides. This time when he kissed her, it was different, still demanding, but with a thread of something else. Possession. Promise. "I won't hurt you," he said against her mouth, and it sounded like a vow. "Not tonight. Not like this. I'll be careful. But understand this, Aria. After tonight, you're mine. Mine to protect. Mine to keep. Mine to destroy if I have to. There's no going back." "I don't want to go back," she whispered. He carried her to his bedroom, all black silk and moonlight. And when he laid her down on the bed, when he slowly undressed her, when he touched her with hands that had killed but were somehow gentle, she felt like she was signing a contract written in blood. He was careful, patient. When he finally took her innocence, Pushing inside her while she gasped and clung to him, he whispered in her ear, "You're mine now. Say it." "I'm yours," she breathed, and meant it. That night, Aria Mitchell gave herself to a monster. And the monster decided to keep her. When she woke the next morning, she was alone. No note. No number. Ino Min-jun. Just blood-stained sheets and a heart that was already breaking. She stumbled home in last night's dress, mascara running, feeling hollow. Jessica texted her 100 times, worried. Her parents asked if she was okay. "I'm fine," she lied. But she wasn't fine, because Min-jun Park had promised she was his. And then he disappeared like she meant nothing. Aria tried to forget. Threw herself into college, into her journalism degree, into building a normal life. But some nights she'd wake up gasping, remembering his hands, his voice, his promise. "You're mine now." She told herself it had been a lie. A line he used on every girl. She was wrong. Because 5 years later, the devil came back to collect his debt. Aria was 23 now. A junior reporter at the New York Tribune, living in a small Brooklyn apartment, dating a perfectly nice lawyer named David. Her life was normal. Safe. Boring. She told herself she was happy. She almost believed it. Until the night she came home from work and found her apartment door already open. Her heart stopped. She pulled out her phone, ready to dial 911, when she heard it, a voice that haunted her dreams. "Hello, Aria." She pushed the door open with shaking hands. Min-jun Park sat on her couch like he owned it. 5 years had made him harder, sharper, more dangerous. He wore an expensive black suit, his dark hair swept back, his eyes as cold and burning as she remembered. "How did you?" Her voice failed. "Sit down," he commanded. "Get out of my apartment." "Sit down." This time, his voice carried an edge that made her knees buckle. She sat. "Why are you here?" she demanded, trying to sound brave. "It's been 5 years. 5 years, and you just show up." "I told you that night," Min-jun interrupted, his voice dangerously soft. "I told you that you were mine. Did you think I was joking? You left me." The words exploded out of her. "You took my virginity and disappeared like I was nothing." "I left because I was trying to protect you," he said coldly. "Because I knew if I stayed, I'd drag you into my world. And my world destroys innocent things. Then why come back now?" He stood, moving toward her with predatory grace. "Because my enemies found out about you anyway. Because your name is on a list of my weaknesses. Because right now, every rival syndicate in New York is planning how to use you against me." Aria's blood ran cold. "That's insane. I'm nobody to you." "You're everything to me," he said, and the raw possession in his voice made her breath catch. "You have been since that night. And now I'm here to collect what's mine." "I'm not." He was on her in a second, his hand gripping her chin, forcing her to meet his eyes. "You are mine. You became mine the moment you gave yourself to me. The moment you said, 'I'm yours.' Did you think that was just pillow talk, Aria? Did you think I'd let you go?" Tears burned her eyes. "You left me. And it was the biggest mistake of my life," he said roughly. "But I'm fixing it now. You're coming with me. Tonight. I have a life here. A job. A boyfriend." His eyes went black. "A boyfriend." The words were lethal. "You let another man touch what's mine?" "I'm not yours," she shouted, shoving at his chest. "You don't own me. Don't I?" He pulled out his phone and showed her the screen. Photos. Dozens of them. Her leaving work. Getting coffee. Walking through the park. And in some of them, there were other people. Men with guns following her. "Oh my God," she whispered. "The Choi family," Min-jun said. "The Yakuza. The Russians. They all want to hurt me, Aria. And the easiest way to do that is through you. So you have 2 choices. Come with me willingly, or I take you by force. Either way, you're leaving this apartment tonight. And you're never coming back." Before she could respond, the window exploded. Glass shattered. Min-jun threw his body over hers as bullets tore through her apartment. She screamed, her ears ringing, her mind blank with terror. Men poured through her door, Min-jun's men, she realized, returning fire. The noise was deafening. Blood sprayed. Bodies dropped. And through it all, Min-jun held her, his body a shield, his voice in her ear. "Don't look. Just hold on to me." When the gunfire stopped, he pulled her to her feet. "We're leaving. Now. My cat. Already secured. Move." He dragged her through the chaos, down the back stairs, into a waiting SUV. As they sped away, Aria watched her entire life disappear in the rearview mirror. "Who were they?" she asked numbly. "Choi family," Min-jun said, his jaw tight. They were faster than I expected. But they won't touch you again. I'll make sure of it. By kidnapping me? By protecting you, he corrected. Whether you want it or not. The estate was 2 hours north of the city, hidden behind iron gates and armed guards. The mansion was massive, cold, imposing, beautiful in a terrifying way. Aria was taken to a bedroom that looked like something out of a luxury magazine. King-sized bed, walk-in closet, private bathroom with a tub big enough for 3 people, a cage made of silk and marble. You'll stay here, Min-jun said from the doorway. Don't try to leave. My men have orders to stop you. By any means necessary. You can't keep me prisoner, she said, her voice shaking. I can, and I will. He stepped into the room, and suddenly the space felt too small. Get used to it, Aria. This is your life now. My world. My rules. Mine. I hate you, she whispered. Something flickered in his eyes, pain maybe or regret. But then his expression hardened. Hate me all you want, as long as you're alive to do it. He left. The door locked behind him. Aria sank onto the bed and let the tears come. 3 days passed. Min-jun appeared occasionally, always watching her with those dark, possessive eyes. Always close enough to touch, but never touching. Like he was restraining himself. Aria tested every door, every window. All locked. All guarded. On the 4th day, she had a visitor. The woman who entered her room was stunning, tall, elegant, with long black hair and a smile like poison. So you're the little virgin who's caused all this trouble, the woman said in perfect English, her accent sharp. I'm Hannah Choi, Min-jun's fiancée. Aria's stomach dropped. His what? Oh, he didn't tell you? Hannah's smile widened. We've been engaged for 3 years. Our families arranged it. Very traditional. Very powerful. We're supposed to marry next month, actually. I don't believe you. Believe what you want. Hannah examined her nails. But let me explain something about Min-jun Park. He's a collector. He sees something beautiful, something pure, and he takes it. Ruins it. Then he gets bored and moves on. You're not special, Aria. You're just his latest obsession. If that's true, why are you here? Aria demanded. Why do you care? Hannah's eyes went cold. Because you're interfering with my plans. Min-jun is worth billions. His family's empire is the largest on the East Coast. When we marry, that power becomes mine. I'm not letting some naive little American girl ruin that. I didn't ask for any of this, Aria said. He kidnapped me. Did he? Hannah tilted her head. Or did you come willingly 5 years ago? Did you spread your legs for a man you didn't know and then wonder why he couldn't forget you? The slap came before Aria could think. Her hand cracked across Hannah's face, the sound echoing in the room. Hannah touched her reddening cheek, and her smile turned vicious. There she is, the little fighter. Min-jun always did like his toys with some spirit. But here's what you need to understand. Min-jun Park destroys everything he touches. And you, Aria Mitchell, are already broken. You just don't know it yet. She left in a swirl of expensive perfume and malice. Aria stood shaking, her hands stinging, her heart racing. Was Hannah telling the truth? That night, Aria didn't wait for Min-jun to come to her. She broke a vase, used a shard to pick the lock, thank God for that journalism expose on security systems, and marched through the mansion until she found his study. She burst through the door without knocking. Min-jun looked up from his desk, where he was cleaning a gun. His men jumped to attention, hands on their weapons. Is it true? Aria demanded. Are you engaged? Min-jun's expression didn't change. He waved his men away. They left reluctantly. Answer me, she said. Yes. The word hit her like a bullet. You kidnapped me while being engaged to someone else. The engagement is political, Min-jun said calmly, setting the gun down. It means nothing to me. Your fiancé seems to think it means quite a lot. Hannah Choi is a viper from a rival family, he said coldly. Our fathers arranged the engagement to unite 2 syndicates. I've been planning to break it off for years. Years, Aria repeated. But you haven't. Why? Because breaking an engagement in my world isn't like breaking up with your boyfriend, Aria. It starts wars. It gets people killed. I've been waiting for the right moment. And I'm the right moment, she said bitterly. Min-jun stood, moving around the desk. You're the only thing that's ever mattered enough to risk it. I don't believe you. Then don't. He was in front of her now, too close, overwhelming. But you're still mine. Engaged or not. Married or not. You've been mine since you were 18 years old. You left me, she said, her voice breaking. You made me think I meant nothing. You meant everything. His control snapped. His hands gripped her arms, hard enough to bruise. You meant so much that I left because I knew I'd destroy you. I knew I'd drag you into this hell, and you'd hate me for it. So I walked away. I tried to forget. And I couldn't. Every day for 5 years, Aria. Every single day. Tears streamed down her face. You should have come back sooner. I know, he said roughly. I know. And now I'm paying for it. Because you hate me. Because you think I'm the monster everyone says I am. And maybe I am. But I'm your monster. And I'm not letting you go. Ever. Then he kissed her. It was angry, desperate, claiming. She tried to fight, tried to push him away, but her body betrayed her. Her hands fisted in his shirt. Her mouth opened for him. 5 years of anger and longing and confusion poured into that kiss. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Min-jun pressed his forehead to hers. I'm breaking the engagement, he said. Tonight, Hannah and her family are coming here for dinner. I'm telling them it's over. And then you're going to marry me. I haven't agreed to that, Aria gasped. You will, he said with absolute certainty. Because you're already mine. You just need to accept it. That night, Aria was dressed in an expensive gown she didn't choose and brought downstairs to a formal dining room. Min-jun sat at the head of the table, looking every inch the crime lord in his black suit. Hannah Choi sat to his right, her father and brothers flanking her. They all looked at Aria like she was an insect. So this is the girl, Hannah's father said in Korean. Aria understood enough to catch his contempt. This is Aria Mitchell, Min-jun replied in English, his hand possessively on her lower back. My future wife. The room went silent. Then Hannah laughed. Your future wife? Min-jun, don't be absurd. We're engaged. Not anymore, he said coldly. Hannah's father stood, his face purple with rage. You're breaking a contract between our families? Do you know what that means? War, Min-jun said calmly. Yes, I know. I'm prepared for it. For her. Hannah's brother sneered, looking at Aria. For some American nobody? Watch your mouth. Min-jun's voice dropped to something lethal. Or I'll cut out your tongue. The tension was suffocating. Aria felt like she couldn't breathe. Then Hannah stood, her face twisted with fury. You're making a mistake, Min-jun. You're choosing her over your family's legacy, over everything we've built. I'm choosing her over a loveless political arrangement, Min-jun said. The engagement is over, Hannah. Accept it and move on. No, Hannah said. And suddenly she was holding a gun, pulled from God knows where, pointed directly at Aria. If I can't have you, she definitely won't. Everything happened at once. Min-jun moved. His men drew weapons. Hannah's family shouted. The gunshot cracked through the air. But Min-jun was faster. He threw himself in front of Aria, his body taking the bullet meant for her heart. No! Aria screamed as he went down. Chaos erupted. Min-jun's men opened fire. Bodies dropped. Blood sprayed across the expensive white carpet. And Aria fell to her knees beside Min-jun, her hands pressing against the wound in his shoulder, blood hot and slick between her fingers. Don't you dare die, she sobbed. Don't you dare leave me again. His eyes opened, pained but focused. Told you, he gasped. Mine. Always mine. Then he passed out. 3 hours later, Aria sat in the mansion's medical wing, her hands still stained with Min-jun's blood. The doctor had assured her he'd survive. The bullet had missed anything vital. But she couldn't stop shaking. He'd taken a bullet for her. A man who claimed to own her, who'd kidnapped her, who'd torn her life apart, had nearly died protecting her. The door opened. Hannah was brought in, restrained by guards. Her expensive dress was torn, her makeup smeared. She looked like a fallen angel. This is your fault, Hannah hissed at Aria. All of this. Min-jun was mine until you seduced him. I didn't seduce anyone, Aria said coldly, surprising herself with her own strength. Min-jun made his own choices. And so did you. You tried to kill me. You shot him. That's on you. He'll never love you, Hannah spat. He'll use you up and throw you away. Take her away, Aria said to the guards. I don't want to see her again. They dragged Hannah out, still screaming threats. Aria walked into Min-jun's room. He was awake, propped up in bed, his shoulder bandaged. He looked pale but alive. Hey, he said softly. You're an idiot, she said, tears streaming down her face. You could have died. Had to protect what's mine. Stop saying that, she shouted. Stop saying I'm yours like I'm some possession. Then what do you want me to say? He asked. That I love you? Fine. I love you, Aria Mitchell. I've loved you since you were 18 years old. I've loved you through 5 years of trying to forget. I've loved you enough to walk away and enough to come back. I love you enough to start a war, to take a bullet, to burn down my entire empire if that's what it takes to keep you safe. Aria stood frozen, her heart pounding. So yes, Min-jun continued, his voice rough. You're mine, but I'm also yours. Completely. Irrevocably. Whether you want me or not. She moved to the bed, sitting carefully beside him. This is insane. I know. You're a criminal. A killer. Everything about you is dangerous. I know. And her voice broke. I think I love you too. And I hate myself for it. Min-jun's good hand came up to cup her face. Then hate me. Love me. Both. I don't care. Just stay. If I stay, she whispered. If I sign your contract and become your wife, I need you to promise me something. Anything. Never lie to me again. No more secrets. No more disappearing. If I'm yours, then you're mine too. Equally. He studied her for a long moment. Then he nodded. Equal partners. I swear it. Then I'll stay, she said. But not because you're forcing me. Because I'm choosing you. Even though you're probably going to destroy me. I'll spend the rest of my life making sure I don't, he promised. And when he kissed her, it felt like falling and flying all at once. Aria stood in front of a mirror, wearing a simple white dress. Not a wedding dress, not yet. But close enough. The ceremony would be private, just Min-jun's most trusted people and a judge who'd been bought and paid for. She should have been terrified. Instead, she felt strangely calm. Until her phone, returned to her as a gesture of trust, buzzed with an unknown number. Hello, she answered. Aria Mitchell, a distorted voice said. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. But you should know something about your future husband. 5 years ago, the night he took your virginity, he was on assignment. His father ordered him to find an innocent girl, ruin her, and use her as leverage against her family. Your father works in military intelligence, doesn't he? That was never a coincidence. You were always a target, Aria. Always a pawn. Min-jun Park never loved you. He was just following orders. The line went dead. Aria's hands shook as she lowered the phone. Her mind raced. It couldn't be true. Could it? But then she remembered. She'd never told Min-jun her father's job. She'd never mentioned it that night. So how did the voice on the phone know? Through the window, she could see Min-jun waiting in the garden, looking devastatingly handsome in his black suit, ready to marry her. Ready to complete the mission he'd started 5 years ago? Or genuinely in love with her? As she walked toward her future, one question burned in her mind. Was she marrying the man who loved her, or the monster who'd been playing her all along? Thank you so much for watching episode 1. But this story is far from over. Was that voice on the phone telling the truth? Is Min-jun's love real? Or has Aria been a pawn in a much larger game this entire time? What secrets is Min-jun still hiding? And what happens when Aria discovers the real reason he came back for her? You need to watch episode 2 to find out. It drops in just a few days, and trust me, you won't believe the twists coming. Smash that subscribe button right now. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single second. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and whether you think Min-jun truly loves Aria, or if this has all been a setup from the beginning. Team Min-jun or Team Run. Like this video, share it with everyone who loves dark, twisted Korean mafia romance, and get ready for episode 2. Because if you thought this was intense, you haven't seen anything yet. This is Under the Soul Sky, and Aria's nightmare has only just begun. Don't forget to subscribe so you wouldn't miss episode 2.